In humanitarian aid, logistics make the difference between nutrition and hunger, between health and sickness, between life and death. Logistics can absorb as much as 80% of operational funds, and that can mean up to $24 billion per year. With funding declining, the economy contracting, and needs continuing to rise, logistics are all the more critical. The Contribute project has been a 3-year research effort aiming to engage humanitarian supply chain players and create a knowledge base of information and practical tools. Co-funded by SmartTrans in the Norwegian Research Council, the research group included BI Norwegian Business School, Avenir Analytics, and Wilh.Wilhelmsen, supported by representatives of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The Contribute research approach considered 3 main elements: projects, related operational outputs, and research outputs. The 7 projects studied key areas in humanitarian aid logistics, producing a vast array of knowledge both at an operational and a research level. To provide information that support the planning process, increasing predictability, and allowing donors and agencies to develop more efficient supply chains, the Humanitarian Logistics Demand Forecast analyzed 30,000 data inputs across 63 disasters that occurred over 5 years. 2 prototypes were developed: the HLDF, a global forecast on the demand for goods and services over a specific period and where they would likely be required, and the Operations Forecasting Tool that can describe what items and amounts are likely to be needed as part of a given international disaster response. The HLDF was one of the components used to develop the IFRC 5-year logistics strategy, defining product volumes and the required logistics capacity. A case study was undertaken to inform an investment decision, and analyses were done to create a plan for pre-positioning of stock and establishment of framework agreements with suppliers. In 3 years, the research has produced a good number of academic and practical presentations, master's theses, publications, and internationally reviewed papers. Hundreds of students have been trained in knowledge and concepts developed by Contribute, and relationships were developed with and between universities, humanitarian organizations, and companies. Contribute has generated tested humanitarian logistics concepts and tools that will increase efficiency and effectiveness, close the gap between needs and funds when implemented across the sector, and establish cross-actor relationships. But the bigger impact will come from what happens next. 3 key future initiatives are identified: further development of the HLDF, continued supply chain education programs, and advanced research to optimize effectiveness of future supply chains. By acting together, the humanitarian community can address the underlying causes for supply chain waste and improve planning and preparedness for optimized response.